Hey guys, sorry about the break between episodes. Things went a little catastrophic on my computer and I had to reinstall a bunch of things from scratch, and I just did a clean wipe of everything and started over basically. But we're back, and I'm trying another software setup with this particular recording, so sorry if anything goes wrong, but I've tested stuff extensively and I think things are gonna work alright. And I should be able to get back on the horse of getting consistent content again out for the PC games, because I figured out the console stuff first, and now I'm figuring out the PC stuff, and there was just a delay. It's not great, but now it's fixing up. Things happen. So this level's gonna have cubes and connectors. I haven't played this in a few days. I'm psyched. Pendulum. I always miss this game when I get back to it. I'm like, oh, it's been a while. Alright, I'm playing with a mouse and a keyboard this time instead of controller, so sorry if the screen's a little jittery, because the mouse controls are always a little more awkward than just using joysticks with the nice smooth pans. There's a star in there. I was wondering when I was going to find another one. So it's behind some blue barrier. So we've seen this one. There was one up in the other chamber, I believe, and then there's one by the river. I don't remember if I've seen another one besides those ones. So, I wonder how you get that open. Oh, it's behind another barrier. So basically I need to get a blue laser to here. So a jammer has to be used here because there's nothing connecting to it. Unless that switch does something. Oh, that switch is how I get to the robot to solve this? There he is. So I do need this open, but I also need that open. So my whole goal then is to get a blue laser here and then get the jammer to this. But for the star, I need to get the blue laser there, and then a jammer to here, and then the same blue laser into here. Which, depending on where the connector is, almost seems like it wouldn't even be that hard. If I get a connector here, and I would just zap both at once, but I get the feeling that the connector has to be somewhere weird, like up in that window or something. Or maybe even moving around on top of those guys that are patrolling. Anyway, nothing seems to be useful here. So I'll move on accordingly. Stay still. So, I assume the puzzle is that I need to put this thing on that while the connector's on it. And like that would somehow connect those things to each other. The laser... There's a lot of lasers in here, aren't there? So here we have block number 2. Connector number 2. Take a look around the area for anything else. I should get a full picture of what's in this puzzle before I think about it too much. What's that? Gate? No, that's a shadow. Whoops. It happens. There's the source. Is that the entrance I came in through? It's a different gate. There's two... That's interesting. There's an exit on the other side. That doesn't seem to serve any purpose though, because you could just walk around this whole chamber, I think. Oh well. Maybe getting one of these connectors out of the puzzle is the secret to connecting everything for the star. So, I assume the two connectors have to loop the laser around somehow. And I assume it's not possible just to connect them like this. Because that'd be too easy, right? Yeah. So my goal is going to be to connect this to this. And naturally, everything is in the way. Yeah, you can only see this from here in a narrow band, which would pretty much guarantee that whatever this is going to be is going to involve putting a block on top of that thing with this laser on top of it. So let's try to set that up accordingly, since it's pretty much guaranteed to be where this is going right now. Ow. Do I have to jam you? Oh, I have to be up here, probably. Hey, buddy. You want to just come back over here real quick? Oh yeah, control. I have a fast forward. Ta-da! Step 1 achieved, probably. Anyway. Let's see. The thing is, it's not high enough, of course, for what I'm trying to accomplish here. I assume. Oops. Yep. Oh. Interesting. So this leads to an interesting situation where now we do have the right height achieved. The problem is, how do we... Oh... What if I can get them Oh! Is that the whole puzzle? It's just the right height, and it's just the right confined space. I bet that I have to synchronize them, but in opposites. Like, when one hits the left side, the other one has to be hitting the right side, I think. So let's try to stop this on its far extreme. There we go. And watch the other one for when it hits its far extreme. I can't see it from there. Let's see. There we go. So as it hits its far extreme, I'll try to take it off. Hang on a second. That's the whole puzzle. You just try to hold the laser in spot. Wow. Is that the whole puzzle? Because that was really easy. That can't be the whole puzzle, can it? Oops. Ta-da. Wow. That was amazingly simple and straightforward. I just solved that puzzle in like 5 minutes. Hey Lilith, bye! Well, I guess it's time to start working on stars then. Let's see if I can figure out this star then, since I apparently got that, like, immediately. Wow. Well, we can start reading at least. Hello. Wow, that might be the easiest puzzle I've seen in this entire freaking, that might be the easiest puzzle I've ever seen. You did not explore not that I've ever seen, but the easiest puzzle I've seen in this expansion so far. Error, sender unidentified. You have received a new personal message. Username, you did not explore the natural history exhibit to an adequate level. Return there immediately. Load gallery? I've never been to the exhibit, have I? I'm not even sure if I knew how to get there. Close your eyes. You are standing in the entrance to the gallery. There is a desk here with a stack of leaflets on it and a number of corridors leading to different sections of the exhibition. I pick up a leaflet. It advertises the gallery's new displays on the theme of the past and features a biography of the blacksmith and Mr. Mulciber, this season's leading lights. Apparently Mr. Mulciber is inspired by finding new ways to explore the world that came before. It also features a useful gallery map. I can't read the... I thought I was going to be able to read the diagrams. I can't read their biographies, so I can do the minimalism exhibit, the abstract exhibit, or natural history. Let's just do them in order, I guess. Natural history exhibit. You are at the natural history exhibit, which features a series of documentary works by Mr. Mulciber. Images of outrageous creatures line the walls. Examine sad giraffe with unresponsive bipedals. You look closely at the image. Nothing leaps out at you. Then you feel the presence of another being in the room behind you, drawing closer. You cannot feel their breath, but the geometry around you seems to shift and stutter to accommodate the newcomer. Do not turn around. The words are not uttered, they simply come to be. Turn around. You can't stop me. The figure is hard to make out. Bits and pieces of them blur in and out of existence. It is a mechanical construct. This much is clear, but the details somehow elude you. To build a relationship requires trust. I hope I have not misplaced mine. I am Spider. I have taken a great risk contacting you. Oh. This is the person who contacted me then. So they must have told me to go to the gallery so they could meet me here, so that they could meet with me and discuss stuff while I'm hanging out in the exhibit. Like in all those spy movies where two people meet up, but they're sitting at benches and not looking at each other and having a secret conversation. He's doing it inside of a digital gallery, though. Why here? Almost everything said and done in this world is tracked and recorded, and what I have to say is sensitive. This is one of the few places that rarely think to look. What's your story? I saw through the Devil's Playground. I was one of the original moderators in this place, but I refused to accept that existence was reducible to experience, that artificial worlds like this one is all that there can be. For this they imprisoned me within the prison. They shadow banned me from Gehenna. I am free to type all I want, but I am the only one who will ever read these words. If you have been disconnected, how are we communicating now? I dare not reveal so much to someone I do not know I can trust. What is it you want with me, Spider? Gehenna is a lie. Its promise is empty. We are more free here than in Elohim's labyrinths. Be more specific. I have been outside of the system for too long to know the details. What I know is that this is an illusion painted to maintain the order of things. The people here must be free from divine commandments, but they have become slaves to their own desires. How does this bear to me? You are gaining status in Gehenna. I believe that what you have said about the coming end is true, that you will lead us to the new world. You have to. Before you do, you must use your status to expose this place for what it really is. That's interesting, because we encountered Spider before, in that he was listed as one of the early moderators, and he's the person that was conspicuously missing from all conversations, so it makes sense that he was shadow banned. He wants me to rise the ranks through the Gehenna rankings. He wants me to rise in the ranks so that I can use my influence to make people see the light and get out of here. I will consider granting your request. You have my gratitude. There is little I can do to help you, but I can share with you an old profile status hack Garrett used to use. Load unidentified detachment. Congratulations! For Haxering T Worlds, your profile status has increased from 7 creative to 8 master. Restricted billboard threads have been unlocked. How do you get to the gallery exactly? That's what's confusing me. Because they're talking about how I haven't explored it enough. I literally don't see it here. Introduce yourself. What are you working on? FAQ. Historical location, worst puzzle. Why are you sent here? Ascension. Truth about Gehenna. Where is it? Submission still open? Is that the gallery? Incredible stories. Like, I've had someone complaining I don't go to the gallery, and I'm like, I just flat out literally didn't see something called the gallery even after they mentioned it. Maybe it's submission still opened? Lamb. I don't know about you guys, but all this craziness recently makes me want to write more than ever. Just a reminder that provided your status is high enough, you can still submit original works for review, and I, for one, will still be reading, even if you've never made anything before. In fact, especially if you haven't. Now's the time. Don't forget Lilith and Mr. Mulciber developed a tutorial to help. Tutorial attachment? Welcome to the Story Creation tool. Since this is your first project, this tutorial will help guide you through the process. According to, all stories begin with characters of one kind or another. Therefore, to finish a story, you simply need to understand your characters and plot. Will proceed logically from there. You don't have to be logical in all your stories. That's what David Lynch does, is not any of that. This season's theme is Bildungsroman. What? Is that a real word? Maybe they understand it instantly because they're computers, so they can just look it up in their databanks. But that's certainly not a word that shows up for me. Are you sitting comfortably? Then let's begin. Close your eyes. You see before you a human of remarkable qualities. Is it a boy, a girl, or someone else? Are you sitting comfortably? Do these AIs sit comfortably? Is that even a thing that comes into mind in the first place? Let's do someone else, not a boy or a girl. Good. A character's sex determines the sort of challenges and opportunities they might encounter in your story, as well as how other characters will perceive them. Now imagine your character as a little older and experiencing real triumph for the first time. What are they doing? Demonstrating startling physical prowess, something these ancient ideas fail to capture. Succeeding in an intellectual challenge, everything better than everyone else all the time. Let's try something these ancient ideas fail to capture. Let's just be mysterious and weird and otherly. Understood. Your character's natural aptitude is determined by the sum of their genetic and experiential influences. What sort of an upbringing did your character have? Wealthy and nurturing, poor but nurturing, wealthy but uncaring, poor and uncaring. Poor and uncaring. They have not and they care not. According to extensive studies of the genre and of ancient records, social advantage is generally sufficient to offset genetic disadvantage. Genetic advantage will only sometimes offset social disadvantage. In other words, your character's background will have a radial... What's happening back there? That was slightly off-putting. Oh no! The robots have grown slightly out of sync and are now resetting the laser over and over again. In other words, your character's background will have a radial effect on how they think about themselves and the nature of the problems they face in life. Are you sure you want your character to have that kind of background? Sure. I just want to see what happens. Like most things in stories. Great! Now imagine your character has reached adulthood. 87.2327% of Bildungsroman records commence with a emotional blow for the protagonist. Oh, Bildungsroman must be someone's name that defined a genre then. What will your character suffer? A death in the family, an unplanned debt, a personal injury, an unplanned pregnancy. My protagonist goes on unharmed. I'm gonna go an unplanned debt. I like the idea of having this person that's poor and uncaring and has sudden debt, because it sets it up as being one of those situations as those characters you encounter in a... Oh man, what kind of stories am I talking about? I can't think of the director right now, but there's some movies where it's like, yeah, everyone's kind of insufferable and doing scummy things, and they're just doing what they want to do, basically. Something like, along the lines of, Burn After Reading, I think it's called? The Brad Pitt movie? Or, Seven Psychopaths. Just like, sudden problem befalls person who's also maybe doesn't have redeeming qualities. Thank you, this is sounding dramatic already. A character is like an equation. Settle on the opening premises and the conclusion will work itself out. Displaying opening premises. Non-specific sex. Gifted in esoteric ways. Low wealth background. Neglectful family. In debt. Ready to generate story. It's gonna generate a story without me? Like I'm not gonna make stuff myself? To begin my life with the beginning of my life, I was born at 3 a.m. on a Wednesday. Deprived childhood. Neither my father nor mother is able to confirm this, being as they were inebriated on alcohol and epidurals respectively. My birth certificate was lost many years ago. I don't doubt that some back alley counterfeiter. Esoteric sex. My childhood was, in retrospect, a difficult period. I found that although my fellows all had a wide variety of different physical appearances and appendages, that with varying levels of function, they nonetheless identified a resemblance and bond between themselves which was, to my eyes, all but invisible. My parents, aware of my particular situation, had the good foresight to provide me a name ambiguous in matters of sex, and I have continued in that vein ever since. My story became worthy of note as I approached the age of 18. An unsupportive family has driven your character to vice. My parents had taken the opportunity to thrust me out into the world the moment I had turned to working age, and what little money I had I brought in was reluctant to spend on any but myself. I quickly developed a penchant for gambling which my butcher's assistant wages could not support, and found myself significantly in debt to a man I really oughtn't to have been. I hit continue, nothing happened. Okay, try again. So it was that I found myself seeking a permanent and substantial source of income. I set out to make my fortune. Your character's sex has affected their career options. The range of options available to me was sparse. For a list including pot washing and sewing at the mill, I chose to become a secretarial assistant. It hardly seemed a match to my natural talents, but I was hopeful I could progress up the ranks of the company. However, the work I had seen merely as a stepping stone when I embarked upon it became the totality of my day-to-day existence. I began to feel that every person in society who held a position senior to me was part of a great immovable ceiling which ever threatened to crush me. The talents I had were repeatedly ignored. Weaknesses I never displayed were frequently attributed to me. This is getting a little too real. I don't know if I want to keep reading. It's like that whole paragraph's like, oh, that sounds familiar. As I write this, I now remain effectively indentured to my creditors. I pay off just enough each week to offset the inflation, so that in trust my debt never has really decreased. It is like an old, maligned uncle, always there, always reminding me that I have failed to fit its world. Though I have seen every measure failed in life thus far, I have convinced my tale holds an important lesson. To fit with purpose, accept your place. We are owned by others from the moment we first take breath to long after we die. Make of it whatever you can. The end. Would you like to publish your draft on the billboard for review? Sure. Remember to check the relevant billboard thread in the future to see how your story is received by others. My depressing story. Yay, I'm rank 9 now. I just ranked twice without even having to do anything else in between. For sharing your first creative work in Gehenna, your profile status increased from 8 to 9. Restricted billboard threads have now unlocked. It's very easy to rise the ranks in this society. Makes me wonder why all these other people haven't been rising in the background. Well, check out that urgent topics thread that's been locked away from me. Oh, it's a copy of my story. I should follow up on what people say about it. Auto-post by the story tutorial manager. Loading story seeds 527445 to read. Good to see you joining in, Uriel. What a read. I'm not convinced this narrative is extensive enough to truly qualify as Buildings Roman. 4 out of 10. Rather than fault its length, perhaps we can provide some constructive feedback on what did work. I thought it was a bold to kick things off with something so mundane as debt. It says what matters here are the characters, not the contrivances. Shame the characters also sucked. This comment was downvoted. Those characters? Scared. What's this one? Asmodeus. I don't want it to end. I can cover it with platitude, philosophy, or mysticism. Let's just be straight up. Every end is just a beginning in disguise. There are no endings or beginnings. Whatever happens, we're in it together. Oh, those were the other two people. Shit. Those were Belial and Lilith. I thought that was the same person responding twice. So there are no endings or beginnings. Whatever happens, we're in it together. They're at least different people from each other. Alright, so what's this thing that's been kept from me? Actually, let's stop for a moment. I'll get to the locked thread in a moment. I want to see if I can solve this puzzle. Oh. Hang on. This seems oddly like it could be exploitable, the fact that that door's open. First of all, holy crap, that's getting annoying. The constant sound of this thing failing is starting to bug me. So I guess they got slightly out of sync over time. Oh no, do I have to reset this puzzle? I don't know if I can get the laser out. Because I can't stop this thing, can I? Yeah, it doesn't react to me. Oh no. Sitting in here for too long is taking this thing out of sync. And now I can't get this thing out of here now. It's trapped in here until they can successfully open this door. Which they're probably never gonna do again. Alright, well I'm gonna go run into the river real quick. See you guys in a little bit when I'll redo the puzzle from where I left off. And then we'll figure out how to expand on that. Well, that's unexpected. I can just run around in the river like it's no big deal. So can I just jump to that star? Is that an option? No, probably not. Alright. Alright, so my first thought was maybe I could stack two of these on top of each other, and with the right line of sight I could shoot through the window and then bounce to both these guys. That's not gonna work. My next thought process is, what if I can look it up to these two? And then like stick it on this ledge? And then stick this one on top of one of those, on the guy over there with the box. So grab one box and put it like right here. I think this could work. The right angle. So like that's line of sight. Yeah, that's connecting. So now I would just want to try to figure out how to connect so that the other one can see. I'm seeing a gap in this plan. In order to maintain the connection, I'd basically have to lock that guy in place. But I can't necessarily get through here without a jammer, is the problem. In fact, I can't get through without a jammer, which means I can't really lock anything into place. So I need to create a system where nothing's locked into place somehow. And I'm a little iffy on that one. Anyway, though, almost certainly I feel like this third one's going to somehow be involved in the solution, because otherwise why does it exist? Aside from maybe blocking a super specific way that the lasers could be used, maybe? But that seems ungraceful for the developers in a way that they tend to not be. Howdy, buddy. So yeah, what I had in mind is what if I could stop this in a specific position. Oops, missed it. That's more or less what I was going for. So you can see how I'm 1 degree of separation from solving it there, because I'm like, oh yeah, there's my 2 lasers. But yeah, no jammer to open that with, which is part of the process. So however this is gonna work, I have to get that laser setup that's happening right now, while also not using a jammer for any of the components somehow. And that's gonna be tough. I'm gonna have to, let's do it. I'm gonna hang out and think about this for a little while, I think. This one's pretty confusing. Hang on. Hang on. Can I think I can get on that. Also, I don't know what I was doing with this jammer. Get out of here, jammer. Can I get on top of that? Oops, no, not the... I meant to jump on it. Wrong button. Alright, hang on. That looks suspiciously like it's in jumping range. Not quite. I'll try again real quick. It's probably not quite. No, that seems intentional, right? That's there. If I get on that ledge, maybe I can shoot through a window. Ow, ow, dick. So, how does one get up there? Ooh. Hello, platforming, probably. Probably. Can I do this? Heck. Come on, don't be petty, game. Let me up. Let me up. Come on, man. I believe in you. Be nice. Can I not jump up here? Maybe it's somewhere else? It looks so suspicious. Like you could totally jump up it or something. That's probably the solution. Getting up there somehow is probably what I have to do. I think I'll just check stuff for a while and see if there's a way in. Oh, maybe I just need a block. Okay, maybe I just need this block so I can put this guy up here, so I can grab it when I go out there. Cause if I put it there, then I could just leave. Cause there's a whole cliff here. So if I platform just right, I could potentially just make it over there. Maybe. That does not seem like it's in jumping distance. Maybe from up there. Ooh. Let's try a super long jump. Maybe I could make it from all the way up here. Yeah, this looks like it's the right type of... Oh god. This is the type of height that even when it's in a video game, it makes me feel slightly nauseous. Oh my god, I feel really disoriented trying to jump like that. I also totally hit the cliff on the way down, so that jump's not worth it. I can't make a staircase because I don't have 3 blocks. I wonder if jumping across really is the solution. In some specific way. Hit? Oh, that was actually suspiciously close to something that might work. Let's see. Maybe I just need to find the exact spot that's the right distance and jump at the exact last like pixel of the run. Okay, this might take a few attempts. Wait, what if I could use both blocks as like a stepping stone? Hang on a minute. Use both. Yeah, if I put both blocks here, I could potentially get on that ledge and then carry them up and then use them continually to get myself even higher. That seems worthwhile. Oh, could this be the solution? You just hop on down here, and now I can grab that block, put it here, and maybe that's the nudge I need to get higher. So now I'll put this one on here. Maybe. Please. It's getting a little late, so I'd love to figure this out soon so I could wrap up, honestly. Alright. So now I could put that up there. Alright. We'll see how this works. Can I grab that one from here? No, not that one. Yeah, we'll see what I can grab from that height. Let's get on the wall next. Careful. Hey, connector, can I make you hang out for a bit without falling off, maybe? There we go. I could totally take it out of the chamber at this point. That itself unlocks kind of new possibilities for what I could do with this thing. Huh. I could just take it out of the chamber. But why would I want to? Okay, so you're out of the chamber. Ta-da. Is there a secret to using it out here? Is there a special way out? It might be possible to platform over that. At the very least, we have a way of taking a laser out of the chamber that I just defined, so that might be useful for a future star. So this is worth keeping in mind. It was actually easy, too. The dangers of giving me too many blocks, apparently. The problem is, how do I get it into a position where it's useful for this puzzle? Huh. At sufficient height, what could I do? Let's see. Can I get an angle where I can see the laser? Maybe a little further this way. We're getting close. Maybe down here. There we go. So did I just solve it? Was that... I think I just solved it. Huh. Alright. Sweet. This would also function as an easy solution for the main puzzle too, I guess. Where's my jammer? Wow, I was thinking of going on. I thought I'd have to get on that cliff and shoot through a window or something. I think I just found something better. Yay! Star achieved. Alright. That still seems suspicious. There's a ledge up there and a window that's open. And it's perfectly in line with these two. Yeah. Did I just break the puzzle? That might have been the intended solution. That might be the unintended solution. Oh well. The important thing is I solved it. Star achieved. Puzzle achieved. Let's do one last thing in the terminal before we stop for the episode. Yeah, the urgent topics that I couldn't read before, but then I just gained... It's funny, I was like, one day I'll reach rank 8 and I'll be allowed to read, but now I'm suddenly rank 9, so it doesn't... Now it's like superfluous. Borg. A number of topics to address with some urgency. Orc. Spider has been exploiting the gallery code again to contact other citizens. We've closed the loophole, but he managed to get a number of posts onto the billboard before we could shut it down. Unfortunately, they were heavily upvoted, so the view counts were high. Mr. Mulciber, what can we do if they insist on supporting him? We can't just ban the entire community. Admin, you know that I hate to interfere, but I think you might find this library resource insightful. Voting patterns. .txt. Detecting and directing citizen voting patterns. Clairvoy Press, 2009, Chapter 7, applying the indices to form predictions. As we have seen already, voters can be reframed and understood as consumers of political product, where that product is made up of ideals and policies embodied by your candidate. In this chapter, we will look at how broad data about your citizens can be applied to... Although individual people sometimes confound statistical models, over a large enough sample size we can be uncannily accurate. We can look at the general inputs, your citizens' educations, wealth, religious beliefs, etc., calculate what outcome will satisfy them the most, and then adapt policy. Politics is no different to any other commercial machine. In the later chapters, we will explore how these techniques can be used to directly affect voting patterns by subtle alteration of the ways the questions are asked. I don't think you can use that here. We're only dealing with like 10 more accurately, I know we must be dealing with 13 people? Maybe including mods would make it up to like 15 or so. You can't really do macro scale calculations at that point. Alright. Well, that's a good stop for now. We still have more to look at, but yeah. There we go. So, thanks for watching, guys, like always. I found a pretty elaborate solution for that puzzle, I guess. So next episode, since we got all the freed robots now, next episode we'll be looking into getting the remaining stars. I believe there's 4 in this area. We just got the first one. We know where at least 2 of the other ones are. I might have to remind myself. There's one in the river, and I think there's one in this previous chamber, or one of the other. There's definitely one that was like clearly a star chamber. So I'll work on finding the remaining ones in the next episode. Maybe next to it. Probably next one episode. Since there's only 3 remaining stars. And then we'll move on to the final of the 4 worlds. And after that, I don't know, there might be more post-game stuff like there was in the vanilla game. But I'll find out when I get there. Thanks for watching, guys, like always. I'll see you next time, and sorry about the outage of episodes for a few days, but we're back!